Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Breezy Report today. I hope everybody is doing fine. Um, Today we have an interesting story to bring to you. We have an interesting story to bring to you. It's an update. So today we'll be talking about Alex Burns. For those of you that don't know Alex, Alex is an ex-Scientologist in the London Org, and he has been on the YouTube space educating people about the ills and the abuses of Scientology, especially within the London Org. So if you have been following Alex, a couple of weeks back, Alex uh, organized a protest at St. Hill in the UK. And the protest, it's on the day that one of the biggest day in Scientology where they do their biggest fundraiser. And leading up to the event, Scientology has been trying to get some kind of a restraining order against the protesters. But Alex fought back, you know, did all the necessary thing, went to the council meeting, pleaded his case, and you know, he won. So he was allowed to, um, you know, the the protest was allowed to go on, but on some certain conditions. That the council will watch out for the protest, so they will send an observer to St. Hill in the UK where the protest will be taking place, and they will observe what happened, and from the observation they will do um, an analysis and see if in the future, because the event the Scientology organized was a yearly event. So the council were trying to see if um, the protest will be an ongoing thing. Like for next year, if Scientology is doing their events, and the event is called IAS Gala, which means International Association of Scientologists. This is where who is who in Scientology comes, and they do a fundraiser. And this reminds me about people saying that you should keep politics out of this protest. You cannot separate politics. If you're advocating for a change to the law, you got to be involved somehow. You got to go to the council meeting. You got to lobby your representative, both state, local, and federal. So you must be actively involved. It's not just only um, changing the public opinion. When you change the public opinion, you got to move a step further to lobby your legislators. But at the local, state, and federal level, this is where you get the law changed. And currently, as it stands, the law does not favor the the people trying to leave Scientology or any other religious cult. So let's get into the the story. Like I said, so uh, the council has met for the evidence to be submitted to the Mid Sussex District Council as part of their public space. Mm, uh, can you give me a break? All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. So, like I said, the protest has ended, and now the council is convening to look at the evidence from the protest of the IAS event in the UK. So, for evidence to be submitted to the Middlesex District Council as part of their public space protection order process. To provide some context, back in July, Scientology submitted an application for a ban on protesting ahead of their 40th annual IAS gala. Due to the way the council meeting schedules work, it wasn't until 2nd October that their request was reviewed by the People and Community Scrutiny Committees, which Alex did attend along with fellow protester Austin Waite. Although we were given, like you say, although he was given the opportunity to ask any question at the meeting, it gave us an interesting opportunity to witness the proceedings and even catch the council monitoring officer. So the council monitoring officers are the legal counsel to the the politician or the body that makes the law. The committee noted the potential national and international interest. As a PSPO who created and established plans for an observation exercise and the evidence gathering period, which involved council's observers standing at the gate of St. Hill for the duration of the 3-day protest and interview passerby about how the protest was impacting the local area. Excuse me. Um, you know, since the protest, IAS event attendee, local residents, and protesters have been able to submit evidence for the council to consider. And yes, and a couple of days back was the final day for this evidence gathering exercise. This means we are now entering the second phase of the PSPO process, in which Mid-Sussex District Council review the evidence gathering and determine whether they are minded to proceed with a PSPO. PSPO simply means kind of a restraining order. So they are trying to, after the evidence is gathered, they are trying to review the evidence and determine if a restraining order will be placed on the protesters so they can no longer protest at St. Hill. That's what this process is all about. If they are indeed minded to proceed, council officers will then recommend to the elected councillors that the issue goes to public consultation. However, it is entirely possible this doesn't happen, and the evidence gathered does not provide sufficient proof of the protests caused disruption to warrant a ban. In order for public space protection order to be implemented, guidelines states there need to be a clear evidence of persistent, unreasonable behavior that has a detrimental effect on the quality of life of those in the locality. Scientology claimed Scientology claimed that our protests meet the criteria due to harassment and antisocial behavior. However, there has only been two protests at St. Hill in the last 6 years, and and at neither event did Sussex police issue any warning, caution, or arrest. Last year, a police officer told Alex it was the most peaceful protest she has ever worked at. And this year, I made sure to video record a debrief at the end of each day with the sergeant in charge of their response. Every day, we were told there were no concern about the protest. And the biggest problem for them was the disruption of the IAS event itself was causing on the local community. Poor traffic management, obstruction to the public right of way, and aggressive behavior on the part of St. Hill all persisted throughout the weekend. Nonetheless, we remain upturned and determined with our message of kindness and compassion. We offered attendee compliment of their outfit, warning them of oncoming traffic, and handed out cards with details on how to contact the Aftermath Foundation if they ever need help leaving Scientology. So, for me, I watched most of the protest because Alex and some of other protection live stream, and it was very peaceful, very, very cordial, and they were very respectful. So I don't see any need for there to be a public space protection order to be implemented in this case. So despite having a designated coach packed at St. Hill, so this means a coach. Scientology has these big buses that will be transporting people from wherever they are into St. Hill to ease traffic and to ease foot traffic also. So Scientology insisted on only using the main entrance to the property to drop off guests before turning around to park at the Robbie Club opposite. This blocks taxis stopping in the middle of the road to let their passenger out caused a huge delay on St. Hill Road and Turner Hills Road, one of the main arteries into the East Grinstead. Remember, the IAS event is the largest gathering in the Scientology, in Scientology in Europe, and thousands flock from across the continent to hear Captain Miscavige speak. To me, it is abundantly clear the event itself is what caused disruption to the local community. However, it is now down to the council to decide whether the evidence supports Scientology claim that it was, in fact, due to our own off protest with less than 20 people. Reviewing the evidence will take some time, but my understanding, this is according to Alex, it's a decision will not be made until after the new year, at either the January or March council meeting. If the council officers recommend to proceed with public consultation, this process will likely take 6 to 8 weeks and will be an opportunity for those who weren't physically at the event to have their say on whether our protest should be banned. To throw a spanner in the work, a West Sussex County Council election is scheduled for May, which means Mid Sussex will pause any non-election related activities for around 6 weeks from the end of March. If this does not proceed to public consultation, I expect this will further delay the process and we may not get a final decision until the summer. However, Alex remains optimistic. The evidence gathered so far will be sufficient for the council to recognize that our protest was not disruptive and determine a ban would be disproportionate. But we won't know for some time. So for now, all Alex can say is we can do is to sit and wait. So, like I said earlier, I watched the protest. It was one of the most peaceful protests, you know, I've ever seen. So I'll keep following the protest aftermath to see what the council will do and how they will react. Like I said earlier, if anybody is telling you that uh, for you to make a change, you have to have the political capital to back it up. It's not just talk. You have to do the work is really hard for the protesters and for those going to council meeting. And it brings me back to this. I give much respect to Audit LA in California doing the meetings, at the council. I doff my hat for Crazy Love is Love doing, you know, going for the council meeting at in Utah, and with her um, non-profit, 410C4 that she has just registered. I urge everybody within the space, of protesting Scientology to go to her YouTube channel. You'll find a link uh, to the the project she has started. You got to donate, so that the work she is going to do for everybody within the SPTV community protesting or educating people, will be very fruitful. I'm very happy that the project she has started involved lobbying of the politician. She got to go to different state capitals. She has to go to Washington D.C. And most of our politicians, they don't know what's going on. So there are people that need to go up to DC, to their state capital, to their council, to educate the politician of what is going on with Scientology abuse. It's not only Scientology. It's not. There are other religious group, that mimic Scientology. It's for every religious group that abuses its member, that is cult like. There should be a law that will protect, the parishioners, the members of those religious group. You know, crime is crime. When a crime is committed, you don't hide under, oh, I'm a religious entity, so that the government won't prosecute or even investigate. That is unacceptable in America. It's unacceptable. A crime is a crime, and when a crime does occur, it needs to be prosecuted. So we'll be following up with Alex. We'll be monitoring the story to see what will happen when the council finally meets and make a decision. Uh, this is where I'll be signing off. Please remember to, subscribe, put in a comment, share, and you can also join my membership. Until next time we'll meet, God bless.